Gifted Crafters, welcome back to my channel. If you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Nancy with GiftsHQ, and if you're wondering what this is all about, I have a weekly live that I do on Saturdays, and what I do on that channel is just pretty much talk about all kinds of crafts, from sewing, embroidery, knitting, crocheting, and about everything. So I do have a lot of things to show you today. So one of the things that I did was dabble a bit on something that my sister mentioned yesterday in her chat. And haven't seen her channel. She was sewing and crafts. She's on the chat on Fridays at 8 p.m. and she shared all kinds of different embroidery styles that you can do. Now, one of the styles that I have been dabbling with is quilting. One of my favorite things is quilt. So I wanted to dabble a little bit on the quilting side. So I did have a bunch of designs that I've been doing for a while, and I wanted to share some of those with you. Didn't have any quilting ones to show you, but I want to go try to show you some of those in case you're interested in doing some quilting, your embroidery machine. Now, I have an SE1900. It is a little needle machine, but of course, I know there's some out there that have the big machine and multi needles, and I'm sure that this is just a single the Brother SE1900, and I think it does a fantastic job. So I just want to share some of that with you. So one of the things that I did was I did go to Hobby Lobby, and Hobby Lobby had the canvas flags, very simple flags. Were purchased. They were $1.99, and it has a little tie to it. It has a little dowel inside, and it's just a plain canvas, really just a blank canvas that you can put any embroidery. So I went ahead and I used one of the designs that I have, and it's a Halloween design, and it has cauldron. If I can get this a little closer. Let me know, what do you think I should add on here? Should I add a little bit more to it? I did add some stuff on the top, and I'll show you in a second, but I feel like the canvas is still a little bit plain, and I think it just needs something, but I'm just not sure what I want to put in there. So let me know what you think I should put in here, because it looks a little bland to me. But what I did do on the top is I did take some burlap ribbon that I've used before, and on here I took the burlap ribbon and just made a bow, and then I took some embellishment that I got from the Dollar Tree store and kind of stuck that in the back. Just took a tiny piece of ribbon, folded it in half, and then glue gunned it on the top. So this is what it will look like when it hangs. You'll see the bow, and then you'll see, the embellishment. It'll kind of just hang. I did cut the ends to look like a ducktail, and then it just hangs the embroidery on here. So I do like the top. I think the top is fine on, what it's gonna show, but I think the bottom just needs a little something. I just can't figure out what I should put in there. I was gonna write like Happy Halloween, maybe even do some applique. I'm not sure. My head is still kind of wondering what to do with it, but I thought it's just a cute little thing to hang up in your home, and really didn't cost much. Like I said, this was $2 from Hobby Lobby. I had the burlap ribbon already here, and these were from the Dollar Tree that I had as well. So pretty inexpensive, but a really cute design that you can make for your home. So hope you guys like it. Let me know what you think. Let me just go over to the chat, see if you guys have any questions. Let's see. Oh, Alrighty, Robin, it's cute. Maybe Happy Halloween. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking, Robin. Something that says Happy Halloween or something on there. Maybe try using a different type of thread like metallic thread. Yeah, I don't have any metallic thread yet. I do need to go out and try to get some because there's a few other projects that I want to do. One of the ones, and I kind of mentioned it in the chat yesterday, is like stained glass embroidery. And if you haven't tried that, that's really neat. I'm gathering the materials to do some of that, but it has some really beautiful items that you can make with that. You do need some mylar, and you need a couple other items just to get that shimmer effect. And it's also calls for metallic thread. So that's something that I'm looking into, and I'm getting the supplies, and I researched it a lot, and I really love the outcome. So that'll probably be on my next video to show you something like that. Okay, very cute. Okay, you guys seem to like it, which is great. Awesome. Alrighty, so that's just something, you know, wanted to dabble in, and I'm going to show you some other things that you can make with this type of embroidery, because this was just kind of my first one that I made, and it was, you know, just to test it out. So I wanted something to be pretty plain just so I can see how it pops, but definitely something that you can play with. And I could see this, you know, if you're doing some quilting, this can definitely be something that you could put within your quilt. And, you know, and you can, I've seen people just take their quilts onto the embroidery machine and just quilt these patterns on there, and it really comes out nice. You just have to learn how to line them up, which I'm going to go over in just a second. Okay, let me just see, make sure I didn't miss anything. Alrighty. Oh, before we get into my second embroidery item, I just wanted to share with you a book that I got. You know, I'm a reader. So this is the Quilters reference book, and it's a book that I purchased, I believe it was out of Amazon, and I just find it to be really helpful for when I'm quilting. And let me just give you an example of some of the things that you can find in this reference book. So sometimes you are working on a project and you know how many squares you need. Let's say you have a quilt that you're working on that requires 2¼ inch squares, right? So sometimes you have to think, okay, well, how much material do I need to get the 2½ inch squares amount that I need for this project? And so you have to sit there and you have to do all these calculations, and sometimes it will drive me crazy. So I found that this reference book really helps with that because it does a lot of the math for you. So you don't have to worry about it. It has a ton of charts on here, and the charts, you know, they tell you like all kinds of things. And I'm just going to give you one example. So let's say I had 1 yard of fabric, and let's say that I want to do a project that requires 2½ inch squares. So what the book will tell you, and I got the spiral version, by the way, because it makes it easier when I'm looking things up. If I look at the chart, and I'm going to try to get this as close as I can. Let me see if I can put my finger on here first. It'll tell me that for 1 yard of fabric, I can get 224 squares from there. So that tells me, like, if, you know, if I'm doing a project and it says, oh, you need 200 of these squares, 2½ inch squares, then I know I can go to the fabric store and just buy 1 yard of fabric, and I'll know that I have enough for the project. So it kind of helps you so that you don't overspend on the fabric that you need in order to do certain projects, right? So this is just one of the helpful tips that it has in here. I mean, it has so many different charts. I mean, this thing really goes into a lot of detail, and it shows all the math for you. So you don't have to sit there and figure it out. So I just found this really helpful for myself. Again, it's called Quilter's Reference Tool. And this is the updated second edition, but it's just something that I use. I think it's really neat that, you know, it does a lot of the math for you. It kind of takes all of that guesswork out. So let me know what you think. I think it's a good reference manual to have. I mean, I love books, but reference books are the best because, you know, it takes all that guessing game out of the way. So something that I thought I wanted to share with you guys, just, you know, if you're struggling trying to figure out how much yardage you need, or, you know, or how many squares that would equal, you know, this is a good book to have. So great tool to have for you. Okay, let's see. Let's see. We've got Angela says, I just retired from 40 plus years in banking and I'm horrible at math. Well, Angela, don't feel bad because I'm the same. I'm an accountant, but yet it's like I need that calculator next to me. It's like, can't do it all in my head. It's just, it's crazy. But, you know, Robin says she's not big on math. Yeah, I think a lot of people, you know, we're so technology savvy now that we are dependent on computers, you know, so we don't even like think before, you know. They used to have these games when I was little and they would make people stand up in class and the teacher would ask, you know, what's 2 times 2? And you had to say the answer, or, you know, and they would go around the room. So it was pretty cool. But nowadays, everybody just whips out their phone or their tablet, or they look it up on their computer, or they just bring out the calculator, you know. So it's funny how we kind of evolved into this technology world. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you, and let me just move over to something else that I wanted to show you. Now, I decided to do a quilt placemat, and what I used as for a quilt placemat is this template. Now, I got this template at the Dollar Tree, okay, and I just got it because I wanted to use this as, you know, a reference point of, you know, how I should do it, because I'm doing this totally on the fly, just using the template. I didn't want to follow any project or video, or, you know, I just wanted to see what I can do on my own. So I did get the template from the Dollar Tree, the placemat from the Dollar Tree store, and you can see it is lined in the back. So it's a pretty neat, you know, placemat. I think it's cute. So I thought, oh, this is, you know, something I could even embroider if I wanted to, because if you flip it over to the other side, you know, you could certainly put a design on here because it's got a blank canvas. So, you know, I thought it was cute, but it would be great for me to use for my measurements. And so what I did was I took a couple of pieces of fabric. So there's 3 things that you would need to make this project. So first, I had a fat quarter, and these are all Halloween based. So they've got the Halloween colors on here, and I thought, oh, it would be fun to kind of make a little placemat for Halloween, or I can even use it as a centerpiece if I want. So I went ahead and took this fabric bundle, and I used this top fabric here that has the little pumpkins and cats and owls and things like that. So I thought it was a cute little pattern. They do have some other ones, but they were pretty dark, and I wanted something a little bit lighter. You know, one here is just with some witches and a broom. I mean, it's pretty cute. And then I have some other ones with candy corns, and I almost used this one, but it's just, again, it was just so dark. I wanted something a little lighter. And the third one has some pumpkins with a witch's hat, which is cute. And the last one has the skeletons with the bones. So it's a cute little bundle, you know. And, you know, I'm trying to remember, I believe I bought this from Joann's Fabric. I had a coupon, and their Halloween stuff was on sale. So I went ahead and I got that. Excuse me. Give me 1 minute. I'm really thirsty. Okay. Sorry about that. My throat was getting dry here. Okay, so what I did was I took the placemat and I cut the piece of the fabric from this fabric bundle. And then I also took a piece of white fabric that I had in my stash. And I didn't finish it because I wanted to show you guys how I was putting it together. But I then took this and I cut out the fabric, but as you can see, I cut my fabric out bigger than the actual placemat because I want to allot for the binding that I'm going to put around it. So I'm not sure if I'm going to close it off because I don't want any raw edges showing. What you could do is you can fold the two fabrics in and then sew it in the middle and you won't have any raw edges. You can do it that way, and that's kind of how they've done it from the Dollar Tree. So you can see like the two edges are folded. And let me try to grab this a little bit so you can see. So it's two edges that are folded inside and then sewn. And it's about 1/8 of an inch that it's sewn all the way around. That's how they finished it. So the way I'm thinking of doing is I can do it that way, but the other way is to just do a binding all the way around. So I wanted to leave myself some extra space because I'm not sure exactly how I want to do that yet. So I left about 1 inch, maybe 1.5 inches all the way around. And the cut size for the fabric, let me see, I did write it down, is 14 inches by 16 inches was the cut that I made. So this is 14 by 16. The actual placemat is a little smaller because it is the finished product. So what I did was I took the white fabric, I did cut it to that size. Then I took a light fusible batting and I'm using Bosal. Now a similar batting that you can use will be the Pellon. I believe it's the Shapeflex interface from Pellon that is very similar to the Bosal. So sometimes it's a little difficult to find the Bosal brands depending on where you live. So the Bosal, this is light fusible batting, and this is what I used to sandwich the white fabric along with the fabric that I used from that fabric bundle with the Halloween print on it. So this fusible interface is really easy to work with. You know, again, I just cut the same size on the batting, and then what I did is I took it to my iron and I fused it. And one thing about the interface is this type of batting will have a scratchy side, which is where the little dots of glue are, and then you'll have the softer side. So you'll want the scratchier side to interface to one of your fabrics here. I had it interface to the Halloween fabric. It really doesn't matter. You can do it either way as long as you're fusing it to one, and then the other side is the softer side, which will not adhere to it. So since it does not adhere, what I did was I did put some pins on the ends, and that's just to kind of keep it all together so that when I bring it over to the sewing machine, you know, it doesn't move around on me. So that's just something that I did. So once I got this all put together, you'll see that I have the embroidery on here, and you'll see some dots on here. And what I did in order to get the designs all lined up, there are 3 different ones that I did, right? Was I used the template that comes with your 5x7 hoop, and that's the hoop size that I used. But you can use, you know, there's different sizes of these patterns. You know, I use the 5x7. You can use the 4x4 hoop. They have smaller ones. but they even have larger ones. So for those of you with the multi-needles or the larger, fancier machines, you can probably use the larger design. So with the 5x7 hoop, because I wanted it to be lined up to look like it's continuous, what I did was I kind of took my fabric, and using this template, I lined up where I wanted my center point to be. And then I took a fabric marker and I just did the little dots on here. And then once I did all 4 of these, I kind of moved my template over and again lined it up again. And I continued to do that over and over again. So I did it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times in order for me to get that row. And all that does is allows me to then embroider this piece and then go to the next one. When I go to the next embroidery design, I just line the dots up and I know that I'm in line and everything comes out straight. So the template is really useful. Now, before you mark up your dots, you will of course want to find your center point. So I did take the fabric, fold it in half, I finger pressed it, and then I did the same thing the other way so that I can find that center point. And then once I had the center point, that's where I started. Went in with the template, did my dots, and then kind of just moved out. I always start with the center first and then move my way out that way. So that's how I was able to line it up. And then once I lined everything up, it was a matter of just putting it on the hoop and embroidering the design. Now I used different thread colors. I used an orange thread color here. So I hope that shows. Let me just bring this up a little bit further so you can see the actual design. So we have the pumpkin in the middle. We have a ghost. And see if you can see the little bat on the end. So I thought it was super cute. Let me know, what do you guys think? Do you guys like the designs on there? I think the Halloween stuff was really neat. I just thought it was cute. It was something that, you know, you can put together for Halloween. Why not? So let me just check over and see if we've got any comments on that. Alrighty. Okay. So Robin says, cute fabrics. 1 minute tips says, I like the black one with the skeletons. All right. Tisha says, Nancy, that fabric would be nice with pot holders if you can use the quilting design on them to hold pot holders together. That's a great idea. Definitely for pot holders. I mean, I have a whole book. In one of my other videos, I shared a book that I had for pot holders, and they have some really cute designs on there. So definitely something I can use for that. Angela says, I just ordered glow-in-the-dark thread from All Threads. Does anyone use this type of thread on a multi-needle machine? I want to use it next Halloween. I did see that Joann's had the glow-in-the-dark thread, and I was tempted to get it, but you know, I wanted to kind of stick to the project that I was working on now, so I didn't. But yeah, that would be pretty cool for Halloween. I don't know how bright would that really be? You know, I wonder, because I mean, it's thread, it's so thin. So I wonder how much that glow in the dark really pops. I guess if you have a really dense design, then it would really pop. But if it's a lighter design, I don't know if you would really see it as much. Let me know, guys. If you guys have experience with that glow in the dark thread, let me know. I haven't tried it out yet, but that's definitely something I want to look at, because that looks like a lot of fun. Alrighty. Taisha says, I have used the glow-in-the-dark thread for years. When I purchased it, I had a single needle. I have not used it on my multi-needle machines yet. Okay. Annette says, hi, Nancy and everyone. Sorry I'm late. She's from Connecticut. Hi, Annette. Thanks for joining. And Angela, not sure if I would need to change the tension settings. I should probably call Ricona. Thank you, Taisha. Okay, she's having some issues with her tension. Okay. Alrighty. So you guys seem to like the fabrics. Taisha says, I've been embroidering for over 35 years and I have never ever changed my tension on my machine. I have it serviced annually and let the tech keep working on them. Yeah, that's a little scary working on the looking at the tension. You really have to know what you're doing because it could really impact your projects. Your thread can come out all wonky and kind of destroy what you have there. Alrighty, so Angela, let's see, says you got technicians to service your machine. Awesome. Okay, and Robin says she hasn't used it yet. Okay, so this is what it ended up being. Like I said, I haven't finished it yet. I did pin it. Now, one thing to note when you are doing these types of designs, I did not change my bobbin thread. And if you want the same design to come out on the other side, you do have to change the bobbin thread to be the same color. Let me show you what happens when you don't do it. So this is the other side that has that pretty Halloween fabric. And you can see on here, it's not as defined. So first, it's a pretty busy fabric. So it kind of hides the actual embroidery that you have here. So you don't really see it as much. But if I just zoom in a little more, I don't know if you guys can see that. Like it's very light, but you don't see it as well. And it could be, I could use a darker thread, but my issue was I didn't change the bobbin thread. I forgot to change it. So I went ahead and just did it because I had already, when I realized it, I had already started the first one. So I said, well, let me just finish it out that way and see how it came out. And as you can see, it's really not that bad. And you see a little bit of the purple, you see some of the orange, but it almost looks like a blend of the orange and white, or the purple and the white in there. So I think it actually looks pretty cool because it kind of makes it look like a spiral thread color. So I thought it was neat. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna leave it because I think it looks pretty good. But if you're looking at a fabric that you want the design to come out on the other side as well, let's say you're using two white fabrics or beige fabrics or something that's just a solid color, then you definitely want to look at your bobbin and make sure that you change that in order to make sure that both sides come out great. Okay, so this is how it turned out. I did pin the sides, and so now I'm just going to work on putting the borders all the way around it. So hope you guys like that. Alrighty, one more that I want to share with you that I made, and this was using from the Dollar Tree, the Crafter Square DIY cloth. It's just basically looks like a bandana, and it's $1.25. So, I got a couple of these because I like to use this to test things out, like projects like this. And I wanted to see what a different design would come out to be. So this one that I stitched out is a Paisley design. And kind of big. Let me see if I can leave this folded. This is what the stitch came out to look like. Let's see. There we go. So it's kind of floral. It looks really pretty. I think it's something definitely what you can do is have it as a repeating pattern as well. And you can make a beautiful table runner with this design. Again, this is using the 5x7 hoop, and this cloth that I got from the Dollar Tree is pretty big. So let me just open it up so you can see how big this is. So you can see it's a pretty big size. So, I'm not sure if I was going to make a little pillow with it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. I just wanted to stitch it out and see how it comes out. But I thought that the design itself was very pretty. It did stitch out well, and I love the color that I picked with it. So it really made it pop. So that's just another design, quilting design that you can use for any of your projects. So just look them up. There's so many out there. They have baby ones. They have, all kinds of holidays and things. So definitely something that, as the holidays are coming up, and they're coming up pretty quick, you can definitely look at these and make some pretty neat gifts for people. So I hope you guys like that. Alrighty. So the other things I want to share with you guys, and let me just make sure I got everything in. Yep, I told you about the interface batting, which is the Bozo or the Shape Flex from Pellon. Alrighty, so let me just show you a couple of things that I picked up at Joann's. And let me just see. Hold on 1 second. Oh, hang on, I didn't go through my comments here. Alrighty, Puerto Rico Sewing and Craft says, I like the idea of using glow-in-the-dark needles. Great. Let's see. 1 Minute Tip says, never thought to quilt with my machine in that way. Yeah, it's pretty neat that you can quilt with your machine. I thought that was pretty awesome because, you know, quilting takes a lot of precision. So it's really nice that you can just kind of put it on the embroidery machine and, you know, it really puts things on point, which is really nice. Robin says that's pretty. Taisha loves, she says that's pretty too. Alrighty, everybody seems to like the design. Judy said, is that just a big square piece of cotton fabric? Yes, it is, Judy. And let me just give you the dimensions of that. Let me see if they have it on here. It's 27.5 by 27.5. So it's pretty large. It's a pretty large piece of fabric. And again, I got it at the dollar store. So this is great. You know, you can cut this up into pieces and just use this as a way to test out some of your designs. So yeah, it's a pretty big piece of fabric. It's just plain white. I didn't see a lot of colors on it. I did only see it in the white, but just from the little label in the front, you know, it's mostly used, people buy this to do like the tie-dye stuff, but you know, I think it's great. And for $1.25, you really can't go bad. Where are you gonna get a yard of fabric at for $1.25? So, you know, it's not that bad. So definitely something you can pick up there. And if you haven't seen it, I'm sure it's, you know, it's in the Dollar Tree store. You just have to kind of look in the craft section for it. Okay, 1 Minute Tip says Dollar Tree sells fabric. Yes, they do. They sell all kinds of fabrics. This is just one. This is just a DIY cloth, but they actually sell these little fabric rolls that you can get, and they have all kinds of patterns, and they change them up all the time with all the different holidays that come up. So you definitely want to check that out. Wow, for $1.25, cool. Exactly, Judy. It's, you know, I can't complain. You know, I just got it so I could be, you know, practicing some of the stitches and some of the designs as I see them and buy them. You know, I want to be able to see what they look like before I actually put it on the product, whether it be a hat or a shirt or, you know, whatever it is I'm embroidering it on. If then I end up not liking the design, or I want to shift something or change something, you know, this is a great way to not, you know, have to spend money on rebuying your projects because, you know, you messed up the design. So definitely not something like, some people use felt as well. That's another way that's inexpensive that you could use. So there's different things you can get, but you know, honestly, the Dollar Tree store has a few items. I mean, they've upped themselves in the crafting section. So definitely stuff that you can get in there that'll save you lots of money. So check it out if you haven't already. I'm sure your local Dollar Tree store has them by now, because I think a lot of people have really been going to the Dollar Tree for their crafting stuff because it's really picked up lately. Alrighty. So the next item I have that I wanted to show you are just some of the fabrics that I picked up since they were on sale. So I'll just show you what's out there. Let's see. I just picked up some of the Halloween stuff because they're on sale at Joann's. So some of this is just, they're not like big in terms of the print, because I want to cut these up and use these for quilting. So I'm going to cut up squares and kind of make my own design. But I really like the colors that I picked for it. So this one, it's kind of like a little mustard type color with little stars. And then I have this orangey color that I just love. I just, it's like an orangey red. I really like these colors. I think for the fall, it's just so pretty. So many things you can do with this, but I'm wanting to cut these up into squares and make these into a quilt. So maybe I can do the quilt and then just use the embroidery machine to quilt the design on top. Because these are pretty bland colors, like you can really see the designs pop through them. So I think that's what I'm going to do with this. This one I got, and this one I just thought it was really pretty. I love the colors on here. And I love, it has like a little metallic shine. And I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see that on the camera, but it does have a little bit of a metallic shine to it. And I think, it's just really pretty. So for this, I think I'm just going to make some zipper pouches that I have been wanting to do. I did sign up for a couple of classes, so I definitely want to try to go ahead and get some of those projects done, especially before the holidays really hit. And that's where, you got to get all your gifts in. So I'm sure that you guys are starting to think about what you're going to be making for your family and friends and getting all those projects in, because I have my list going and I'm starting to collect the fabrics and I have the ideas in my head, and I want to start organizing that because, I mean, guys, we're going to be hitting October soon. So, it's coming and it's going to come fast. So this is one that I got. Now, this is more of a fleece type fabric. Again, this is at Joann's, and it's just pumpkins. It's really cute. It's soft. So this is more like of a blanket type thing that I'll do. And I can use this as a backing for one of the panels that I have. So definitely needed to get that so I can complete that project. Once I have it completed, I'll show it to you guys. And this one I absolutely love. And I think my sister's going to love this one too, because these are right up her alley. These are her colors. It's the browns. So I love this fabric. I thought it was just so pretty. It's just a mixture of the greens and the browns and like just really pretty. Let me just bring that up so you can see that a little closer. So I think it's just, fall colory. I think I'm going to use this as a backing to another panel that I have. So it would bring out the colors well. It works well with the project that I'm looking at. So definitely something I'll be using pretty quickly. And the last one I have here is just another, it's like a plaid. And this is kind of like a fleece as well. Has some pretty colors. I think I'm just going to do a little blanket for my couch. I'm kind of like to cuddle up in the couch, and just hold the blanket. And, when you're watching some TV, or it could be crocheting or just sitting in my rocking chair, I like to have my little blankie with me. So, this is really soft, and I think this is going to be a nice little addition to my living room. So let me know what you guys think. Alrighty. Oh, sorry, I had one last one. And this one, it's just a panel. It was on sale. It's the spring line. And this is a panel that says, "You are my sunshine." And haven't really opened it yet, but you could see the picture right in the front. It's just to be able to quilt it. Let me put this a little closer, you can see. So it's just a cute little design, and because it's a spring, original price was $12.99, and I think it was like 70% off. So I got it pretty cheap. I don't know if I'll do this right away now because I've got so many other things that I want to get done, but definitely something I can put away and maybe even for next spring, or just kind of dabble on it when I have the time. So these are just some of the fabrics I picked up. Again, Joann's was having a sale. on all of their spring lines. They even have some of the Halloween stuff on sale as well, and some of the Christmas stuff. All that stuff is coming out, and they had a line of fabrics already lined up, so you may want to just kind of stop by and take a look at their fabrics, or just go online and you can see some of the holiday stuff is really coming out, and they are definitely getting ready for the holiday season. So keep your eyes peeled, because this is when all the stuff comes out and you're going to want to pick up your stuff before it all gets picked out. Alrighty, I think that is everything I have. Let's see if we have any questions. Alrighty, a lot of people seem to like the fabrics. Awesome. Let's see. 1 minute tips. Oh, give Nancy a thumbs up. Don't forget, like I almost did. Yeah, if you guys can, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up if you like the video. I really appreciate it. It really does help my channel. I am trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and we are more than halfway there. So I'm really hoping that I can hit that target. I'm trying as hard as I can, and we'll see what happens. But I really appreciate all of you guys. Alrighty, Judy says, I saw pumpkin fabric, pretty teal and orange ones. Awesome. And Angela says, I love all the ideas you're giving me. Oh, I'm glad I can help. You know, this is what this channel is all about, is really just, you know, sharing the ideas, giving you tips. Anything that I find, I like to share. I also put things on the Facebook group. So if you're not part of our Facebook group, please go ahead and join. It's GiftsHQ at USA.com. And our Facebook group, I post all kinds of pictures and things that I'm working on. So I can definitely, you know, throw some tips on there as well. Alrighty, Robin says she loves the fabrics. Judy likes it. I started making gifts already. Robin is ahead of the game. Awesome. Gorgeous. Puerto Rico Sewing and Crafts. Yep, she knows me. I love the yellow, green, and browns. Yes, I know you do. Alrighty, everyone seems to love the colors. A 1 minute tip is asking about sunshine, like your bird. Yes, my little sunshine. For those that don't know, I have a little budgie. Her name is Sunshine, and she's actually out in the living room, you know, probably enjoying the day for right now. This morning, I have a little coconut that, you know, she likes to go into. It's a little house with a little hole, and it's just basically a coconut, and she goes in there and she likes to spend time in there. So I don't know, I found her there this morning. She was hiding in the coconut, so she seems to like it. Let's see, I love the orange plaid print. Oh, awesome. That's Embellish Home with Felicia. Awesome. And Judy says, I have all kinds of sewing projects I want to make for me, but someone either just brought their first house, or had a baby shower, or just had a great grandma for the first time. I've been making them gifts. Judy, I think me and you are in the same boat. I had a couple of friends that just had babies. I had a first time grandma. I had weddings. I mean, this year has been just chaotic. And now we're dealing with storms. So there's some hurricanes that are brewing out there. There's one that they're aiming towards Florida. So I am a little bit nervous about that, but you know, all you can do is be prepared. This is the projected path for the storm. So I'm hoping that, you know, it just kind of goes by really quickly and doesn't have too much impact. I know that the hurricane in Puerto Rico did hit them pretty hard. Bridges that collapsed, a lot of flooding. I really send a lot of my prayers over to them, and I really hope everyone turns out okay. And for these storms, I mean, there's not much you can do other than prepare, guys. So definitely, you know, we're on the lookout. So I am, you know, doing my projects, but I do have to go out and prepare and get a couple of things that I would need for the storm in case we lose electricity. So hopefully nothing will happen. I'm hoping we had a really good luck stream for a while. So happy about that, but definitely, you know, something that I have to look out for. And then I have my parents here in Florida as well, so I also help them with their preparation. So I become a little bit stretched. But I'm doing the best I can and see if I can get some projects out over to you guys, because I really have so many things that I want to show you and so many tips. So I'll try to get a couple of things out to you, and whether it be on the Facebook group, or I'll try to get a video out to you guys soon. So let me just do one more check, make sure I got everything that I wanted to tell you guys, and it looks like I did. Guys, thank you so much for joining, and don't forget to hit the like button on there, and if you like my videos, please go ahead and subscribe. Thank you so much, and I hope to be crafting with you soon. Bye.